There are lots of hikes and waterfalls available in the Gold Coast region, and today we'll walk you through the Natural Bridge walking track in Springbrook National Park. Natural Bridge is a very unique waterfall and one of the more popular ones to visit in the Gold Coast hinterland. The reason for its popularity is being able to view the waterfall from above, disappearing into a huge hole, and then from underneath seeing the water drop through the hole into the pools below. Not only that, but if you're able to visit after sunset, then you have a chance to see the most amazing glowworms. Natural Bridge or Natural Arch is located in the Gold Coast hinterland about 1.5 hours south of Brisbane or 1 hour west of the Gold Coast. Hi travellers, Chris here and welcome to Natural Bridge, where we are going to see an amazing waterfall and try and find some glowworms. You'll arrive to a decent size one-way car park which can be easily accessed with a standard two-wheel drive vehicle. This can be full during busy times or on weekends and school holidays, but I've never really had trouble parking here. It's a 1 kilometre circle or loop track made of bitumen and a nicely formed walking track. It's classed as a grade 2, which is recommended for all fitness levels and family friendly. Your only difficulty is going to be with the 265 ascending or descending stairs, but these are situated all over the track and relatively easy. You should allow maybe 30 minutes to 1 hour to complete the walk, but this depends on how long you watch the waterfall for and whether you hang around for the evening for the glowworms to come out. If you don't have your own transport or don't want to drive yourself to Natural Bridge, there are plenty of tours available from Brisbane or the Gold Coast that will allow you to see it. I have a blog link below that can help you out with that. There are toilets in the car park and a few sheltered picnic tables, but these were under maintenance on my recent visit. Make sure you bring along a backpack with some snacks, water, and maybe some insect repellent. I didn't need the repellent this trip, but I have on other visits. Feel free to wear any shoes that you're comfortable and secure with. This includes thongs or slip-on shoes, but probably safer in closed-in shoes. Millions of years ago, this hard basalt rock bridge was once the lip of an ancient waterfall, as well as the swirling water at its base eroded an undercut cave. You can view the waterfall from several directions, and you'll first sight from the outside looking into the cave. Once you go upstairs and back down again, you'll enter the cave and positioned on a fixed wooden boardwalk. The sound of the waterfall is just deafening and it can be very hard to hear others talking. There's no swimming allowed in this waterfall, plus I think there are eels in it too and it's very shallow. There are penalties if this is breached too. In the stream above, rocks progressively drilled a pothole which eventually broke through into the cave beneath, allowing the creek to tumble through and further expand on the hole. Eventually, this process gifted us with the shimmering waterfall we have the pleasure of enjoying today. In the cave, you'll also might see some microbats flying around, especially at dusk. This also means that the drips from the wet cave are not always going to be water too. This is the same cave you'll find most of the glowworms at night, but I'll go into that more later on. Once you exit the cave, you'll walk through the other half of the track and the other two areas to see the falls. While most of the track was downhill on the way there, it will be intermittently uphill on the way back. The Natural Bridge waterfall is free to visit, just like all the other hikes that I know of in Springbrook National Park. But even better that if you drive yourself, seeing the glowworms are also free. The waterfall serves as a bridge about 90 feet long and it features a rock formation formed by the force of the waterfall over the basalt cave. The beauty and the power of the natural elements are evident when viewing the wonder of the Natural Bridge cave and the waterfall from outside, within and above as you're making your way along the track. There are interpretive signs strategically placed highlighting the area's history and special features. passing between towering hoop pines and twisted strangular figs. Keep your eyes and ears open for some of the diverse creatures that call the Natural Bridge home. Alternatively, it's a bird lover's paradise and a sanctuary for numerous rare and threatened species that you might come across. This includes frogs, owls, koalas, and the pademelons, which look like a little baby kangaroo. Springbrook National Park is a UNESCO-listed ancient Gondwana rainforest. It transports trekkers back to the Jurassic Age some 180 million years ago. The national park borders on the outskirts of a prehistoric volcano that erupted 23 million years ago, spewing lava and basalt across the landscape, consequently forming many picturesque structures just waiting to be explored. It covers approximately 6,000 hectares and offers numerous walking tracks ranging from 300 metres to 54 kilometres, with varying grades of difficulty. The park offers sightseers breathtaking views, fresh, lush forests, surprisingly sneak peeks of wildlife, and therapeutic sounds of the natural tumbling waters. Now, as for the highlight in today's video, the glowworms. You'll have to forgive my footage as the glowworms are very hard to video, especially at night, so I have a mixture of photos here and some footage taken during the day. The glowworms are best seen from December to March due to the heat and humidity in southeast Queensland, but they are common in this region all year round. You don't have to stay too late, and because of how dark the cave is, you're going to see them just before the sun sets. Plus, it's always good to start in the daylight to help navigate where you're going. Don't forget to bring a small torch to help you get around in the dark, and always have it pointed to the ground. But more importantly, don't look for them just in the cave. Once you walk out onto the rest of the track, you'll realise that they're everywhere and right beside you when you're walking around. Glowworms are actually larvae in the juvenile stage of a small fly or beetle, so not really a worm at all. This stage of their cycle is the only time that they can glow. The glowworms must eat and gain sustenance during this cycle to help them survive into adulthood, which lasts between 2 to 6 days. Glowworms as such will last approximately 1 year, but this is dependent on the surrounding conditions and how much food they have around. Glowworms have a segmented body and very similar to a caterpillar. The light they produce is only in the last few segments of the body. The larvae spin a silk thread on which generally hang from the roof of a cave or moss-covered rock overhangs. The actual worms are too small for the naked eye, but you can definitely see the sticky strings hanging down. They spend a couple of hours each night with their bottoms in the air trying to attract food. The light that the glowworm produces is from a chemical reaction and called bioluminescence. Just like a bug zapper, glowworms use the light as a way to draw their prey. This light attracts and captures small insects to their silk threads with sticky droplets, much like spiders do with their webs. It snares the insects and the glowworm in turn eats them. When you look at the cave ceilings or the walls of glowworms, it looks like a starry night sky, and it's a real magical experience. You can find glowworms in dense woodland forests and large moss areas, common in caves, overhangs, rock cavities and other sheltered areas or wet areas. They are nocturnal animals and are very active during the night when they glow and trying to feed. You're typically going to find them in various parts of Australia and New Zealand. Well, that's it from Natural Bridge, so if you're trying to find other day trips from the Gold Coast or Brisbane, then click here and check this video out now. Otherwise, thanks very much for watching, guys, and I will see you for the next one.